Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review of the Tati Beauty Blendiful, and she released this a couple of weeks ago, I believe, and I didn't want to do a first impression, so I wanted to try it a few times before I reviewed it. So if you'd like to see how this beauty works, then continue watching. We're going to review the Tati Beauty Blendiful, and I did receive this last week. I've tried it on. Today's going to be the 6th time that I've tried it on, so I feel like I've used it enough that I can actually give you an opinion on it. I have washed it each and every time that I used it because I wanted to see how it looks after a few washes. It kind of, as you can see, it kind of has lost its shape a little bit. It's almost like whatever the sponging material is inside maybe has shrunk a little bit or lost a little bit of its shape. I mean, it's still usable. It still feels very comfortable. I don't think this is anything that's going to fall apart in the near future, but it has changed a little bit of the shape. It comes in this beautiful little package that just says Blendiful, and it says cleaning instructions, machine wash and dry in a delicate laundry bag, or gently hand wash in warm soapy water, rinse thoroughly and blot dry. I have been doing it in the warm soapy water. I have not put it in my washing machine. So I did it, to me, the most gentle way. And like I said, I've washed it 5 times. Each time that I used it, right after I used it. So I wanted to go ahead and try it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do half of my face with this and half of my face with a beauty blender, which is what I normally wear, so that you can see if there's a difference. And after we're done, I'll let you know how I feel about the sponge. So I've already primed. I didn't want to do my primer with it because I normally never apply my primer with a brush or with a beauty blender. I always use my fingers, and I want to do it the same way that I would normally apply my makeup. If I don't use a sponge for something, then I'm not going to use it for this or a brush. I'm only going to use this on an instance when I would use a brush or a beauty blender or a makeup blender, sponge, whatever. The foundation I'm going to use today is this one. This is a new one. This is from Estee Lauder, and this is a Futurist Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Makeup Broad Spectrum 45. And this is pretty new to my collection, but I have used it several times and I really do enjoy it. So I do know how it performs. So we're going to do this side with the beauty blender, this side with the Tati Beauty, and I just dropped the lid to this, guys. It's been a couple of videos since I dropped anything. And then this side with a beauty blender. So I am going to apply some of the foundation with my finger on half of my face, and then we'll go in with a Tati Beauty. And I'm just gonna use the tip. Now I find for me it works better if I swipe. I get like you can see the streaks. If I do more of a round motion, it comes out less streaky, but I feel like it takes off more product. Like if you can see right now, I don't have that much product on my face. Now let me do a pump on this other side of my face with the beauty blender, and let's see how that, it's like a pump and a half what I used. This is kind of liquidy. I also find when I'm putting my makeup on, I'm so used to using a beauty blender that I'm a lot faster with a beauty blender than I am with the Blendiful. Now, I've never used anything like that before. I know some people have used similar products. So if you look at both sides of my face, you can still see the spots on my face, but I feel like I have a little more product on the side that I'm using the sponge. I'm going to add a little more. I'm going to put it this time on the actual sponge, and this is how much I added. I'm going to try patting it, but the last time I could see a lot of streaks when I did it this way. Now this is a hydrating foundation. It's like a medium coverage, I would say, not a heavy medium. It covered it up a little more. Let's see, all the product pretty much is gone. Now, I have to tell you that I don't like it for dry products at all. I'm going to use it today for, oh no, I was going to go with the Blendiful on this side. I'm going to use it today with powder so that you can see how it works. But personally, I do not like it for dry products. See, I feel like I can spread it more with my sponge than I can with the Blendiful. You guys like my Florida sweatshirt with the gold shoulder? Yeah, that's my hoodie, my Florida hoodie. Okay, so right now it's not too bad. I feel like it's a little more dewy on this side than on the sponge side. Make sure that everything is spread out, but it doesn't look bad. Both sides I think are acceptable. Okay, now for my concealer. I'm gonna use a little bit of corrector because my dark circles lately have been horrible. This is Giorgio Armani corrector, and this I'm gonna use with my finger on both sides. I'll do the concealer with the Blendiful and the sponge, but I normally use my finger for this, and that helped a little bit with some of the darkness. Okay, I'm also going to use this Giorgio Armani. This is the stretchable or something like that concealer. I will list it below. This is a very nice concealer. I really like it. Side. No, that's not the sponge side. You guys know what I mean. And now the sponge side. Now I feel like the Blendiful does a really good job with the concealer. I think it's so soft and easy to get around the corners that it is easy to use with a concealer. Okay, now for powder. I'm going to use this on this eye, and then I'm going to use a brush on this eye because that's the way that I would normally use it. I'm also going to use the Velvetizer by Urban Decay, which works very nice under the eyes. I'm only going to grab a little. Because otherwise it's going to get very cakey, and I don't want that. And then I'm going to use just a little bit on the other side. Okay, now for the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Fenty powder, which I love and I have been using for a long time. I'm just going to put a little bit in the cap. I'm going to turn the sponge the other way so I can get a clean spot, which is also the nice thing. You can actually be turning your sponge around and use different sections. And I'm just going to blot my powder. Now on the other side, I'm going to take my brush that I normally use for powder. I'm going to grab just a little and go on the other side. Oh, you know what? Well, that's okay. The products I have will work anyway. I have cream products for part of my face. It's okay. It's gonna work. Okay, for bronzer, I have the Milk Makeup. This is the matte bronzer. And I'm going to about the same there. Let's see, I think that this spreads it out really nice. It does a nice job of blending it. Now on the other side, I am going to use a brush, which is how I would normally apply the cream bronzer. I think it blended on this side like a little faster than with the brush. Okay, for blush, I am going to use the Cosmetics liquid blush, and this I think I'm going to apply on the actual and spread it on my face, because hopefully this won't be a mess. Sometimes it can be a little messy. I want to be able to blend it. Here we go. This is a really nice, this is more like a liquidy blush than cream. And I'm still gonna go ahead and put like a little bit of powder over it when I'm done, since it is cream products. See it? Okay, and then on the other side, I'm going to put a tiny bit. This comes like in a dropper form. I'll show you. It's a cute little bottle. This is in the shade Rose Milk. And see, it's like a dropper form. And I'm just going to put like a little bit. My sponge, hardly anything came out there. Oops. And I'm going to apply. Now it feels to me almost like this side, is it my imagination, or like one side? Put a little bit there. I think it's coming out on this dropper. I hate these dropper things. They really don't work very well. I don't know why they use them. Yes, the bottle's very cute, but I'll pick some up on this side of the, because that was a little too much. Well, I almost went that way. I almost like the way this side is applied with this a little more. It looks a little softer. And now for my highlighter, it's a Milk highlighter. This highlighter, you barely have to do anything with it. It's pretty much, once you apply it, you have to do very little to blend. Gosh, it's hard to use two different products. Okay, now I'm going to go back and apply a little bit of powder all over again. Just so that this is not so shiny and it will not come off. Just very lightly. And my powder brush. Oh, that was a little too much. Can you guys even see the blush? That's just me. I'm just not applying enough. This blush is so... Tell you the truth, most of the time, this blush, this is what I do. I apply with my finger more than I do a beauty blender or a brush or anything, because it's easier to... But you definitely have to put something over it because it's a little sticky, so it definitely needs to be set. Okay, so I'm going to finish the rest of my face and then I'll come back and I'll give you my opinion on the Blendiful. Okay, I'll see you in a few. Okay guys, so my final thoughts on the Tati Beauty Blendiful. I think it's okay. I've never used anything like this before to apply makeup. I know there's other brands that do sell something similar. I've seen Tati herself using one that's like a leopard print in the past, applying her makeup. And I always thought it was kind of interesting because it looks like she really, you know, enjoys it, whether she uses it all the time or she uses it on camera or she was using it so that we got used to seeing it, so that when this came out it was nothing new. I don't know, but I know that for a while she has been using something similar to this on her channel. This was $18 and I brought this big one and a little one. The little one seems to be a little thicker, a little more cushioned, but even though it's black, it seems to be like the same kind of material. This is like a very soft, it's not a microfiber, but it's supposed to be the kind of material that repels like wet ingredients, therefore it will not pull the foundation from your face but deposit it on your face. For me, I feel like it works better if I either blot it or if I do it like in circular motions. If I just swipe down, and I believe that's one of the ways that she said you could use this, I see streaks on my face of the foundation. I think I use a little more product with this than I do with a beauty sponge. And I'm quicker with a beauty sponge, but that could be because I've been using a beauty sponge a lot longer. This is like the 6th time that I use this. So is it fair to say that you know, you can't get to the point where you're quick? I don't think this is something that is a must-have that you have to run out and get it. I myself consider a little gimmicky. Yes, I purchased it. I did it because I wanted to try it out. It's Tati, and I think anything that she will put out, it will be quality. And I think it is good quality. I'll wash it every single time after I use it. It dries quickly. Usually I wash it after I use it, so it'll be ready for the next time that I want to use it. Where a sponge, if you don't wash it right away, I can go wash it before I want to use it, and it's fine because you're going to use it damp. This, you need to use it dry, so you always have to prepare so that it's ready for you whenever you are going to need it. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know if you guys caught any of that. I just happened to have a sneezing attack. Anyways, so to me this is not as convenient because it's just not grab and go if it's not clean. And this, you know, if it's not clean, I mean, you can see it, and you can also see the sponge. But again, the sponge, if I forgot to clean this, I'm gonna go do my makeup and I pick it up, it's like, oh no, I really don't want to use that. So then you can use it. The sponge, I pick it up and it's dirty, I just go and wash it and, you know, rinse it out, and it's ready for me to use. So it's almost the same as if you went to use a brush and your brush was dirty and you have to go wash it, and then you can use it because your brush is wet. So I think of a brush, a sponge, or something like this. The sponge is the most convenient one. It's always going to be ready for you whenever you need it. Again, this is gimmicky to me. It's not anything that once I use this up, and I ordered 2 of them, 2 sets. Yes, I did, because you know, what can I say? I do everything excessive. One would have been plenty, but I thought it was going to be earth-shattering for me, and it's okay. And you know, if one is dirty, hopefully the other one's clean, so it's all right. This one I plan to keep in my makeup bag. I'm going to put it like in a little baggie, so that I think this will be good for blotting. You know, like at the end, you know, midday or something, you feel a little oily. I think this will be great for blotting or swiping a little bit of powder on it, as long as it's not big amounts of powder. Now I'm going to move you up closer so that you can look under my eyes and see if you see any difference. Right now I think both sides look pretty good. Probably about the same to me, but this side, remember, is with the Blendiful, this one is with the sponge. And see if you notice anything. I'm going to get as close as you can. I think it applied the concealer very, very nice. I actually like, now if I think that if you have a light concealer, you're going to have to apply more than 1 layer. I don't think just one is going to cut it, because to me it deposits less product than the Beauty Blender or the sponge. Now my foundation is not full coverage, which is fine, and this is where you can see the spots on this side and you can see the spots on this side. And normally I would put a little more concealer here, but I didn't want to be putting so much product on my face today. So really, I think it did okay. I really do think, like I said, now like on my crease right here, it looks fine. It doesn't look like I deposited a lot of product, or even that the powder is settled. So I think it did a good job. I think it's something that I will use. It's not something that I'm going to say, no, I don't like it, it's no good, I'm not going to use it. I am going to use it. It's okay. I like it. But it's not something that I need to have in my collection. It's not necessary. I like supporting Tati, not that she needs any more support, but I do like supporting her. I like her. I like her channel. You know, I finally got her palette and really haven't played with it that much. Only, you know, swatched a couple of shades. I think it's beautiful. I wish she would have come out with another palette instead of this, really, or a highlighter or a bronzer or something like that more than this, but it's okay. You know, maybe the next one will be another palette. I don't know. I would have much rather spend my money on more makeup, eyeshadow, whatever, than something like this. And like I said, you know, for those of you that don't have it yet and you're considering it, it's good. I'm not going to tell you it's bad. It's not. It's just not as convenient. It's not something that it's a must-have. It's not must-have. Why do I have such a hard time? My Cuban keeps getting in my way. And I have to tell you, you know, I really recommend that you guys need to go get it. Hurry up before it sells out. No, 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 no. Cool your jets. Something like this works. This is a truly the one that you can depend on the most, because even your brushes, like I said, if your brushes are wet or dirty and you need one, but this one will always serve you right. Inexpensive, you don't have to spend, you know, this one was less, $7. So that's just my opinion. If you have it, if you love it, enjoy it. I'm not telling you it's bad. I'm going to enjoy mine. I have it and I'm going to use it. I have 2 of them, 4 really, 2 little ones, 2 big ones, and I'm going to use them because I do like it. But it's something that's going to be quick for me. Maybe once I get more used to it, it will be a quicker method of applying my makeup. Right now, it is not. And like I said before, I like it a little better for my wet products than I do for my powder products. I tried applying powder bronzer with it, and I did not like it at all. And also blush and highlighter. Now highlighter is something that I really prefer to do it with a brush all the time anyway. but I did not enjoy. I really don't really care. The powder is not too bad, but anything else like bronzer and blush, I really didn't care for too much. So I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have it. Let me know if you've used it. Do you like it? Do you think it's something that has replaced the way that you used to apply your makeup? Do you think like I do that it's not a necessity, that it's, you know, it's nice but it's not groundbreaking? Just give me your opinion. So I love you, and I will see you on my next video. Bye. Mwah.